Dear Thay, dear Sangha, thank you for coming and also friends from all around the world in the Zoom. I can see quite a number of friends, familiar faces, and also from offline. Now we mostly organize programs hybrid, half offline and the other is from online. And today is the second class of the 5 mindfulness trainings presentations. And thank you very much for Joyful Garden Sangha in Singapore. And today is the March the 11th, 2026. We would like to invite everybody to listen to the sounds of the bell. I prepare the, you can, wonderful sound. Breathing in again brings me back, and breathing out to my two homes. And we will practice this kata with 3 sounds of the bell. Let's do it together. I hope you started to, let's listen to the clock chimes. I really hope that you are started familiar with this kata. It's very short and simple, but it's serve its purpose to give rise to mindfulness regularly. So mindfulness, we want to give rise to mindfulness regularly, and then we need a trigger. Yeah. But usually we have a lot of trigger. Usually the trigger to make you stress or frustration or anger, yeah, or angry. But now we want to have a different trigger. This trigger will help us to breathe in and out, and then there's an energy of mindfulness when we come back to the present moment. So this is kind of like the opposite of unmindful trigger. Yeah. So when we have energy of mindfulness, when we are in the present moment, actually we can reduce a lot of unnecessary trigger. Yeah. Like this morning when we want to do something, somebody came and want to do something else. So we just offer the space for that person. We don't need to argue. We don't need to fight. We don't need to like you know arguing with that person's. Okay, no problem. Go ahead. Yeah. So it's a lot of understanding, a lot of kindness, because we don't think of winning or losing. Yeah, because sometimes we think in a way that we have to fight, we have to win. Yeah, in that sense. Yeah. So there are a lot of things we can avoid creating unnecessary troubles for us and for other people. Yeah. And we are talking about the 5 mindfulness trainings. Yeah, the new revisions of. I think we always say it's a new one, new revision, because there's old versions and this is a new, maybe new versions. Yeah, not very new, because we have another newer versions. So if you're following the Plant Village teaching, you have to be ready with these revisions, version number 1, version number 2, and then downgrade version 2.01. And most of the teaching is from books published by Pararak Press. Is belong to the community of engaged Buddhists of Plum Village. So the book's called the Mindfulness Survival Kit, 5 essential practices by our teachers, the most venerable Zen Master Ching Han. Not sure it's available in Chinese versions or not. Have I never heard. Yeah. And okay, let's discuss a little bit about journaling, because last Wednesday, at the end of the class, I kind of asked everybody to read a script, instruction, and then write your personal experience related to the practice of the first mindfulness training and the second mindfulness training. And from yesterday, I received a lot of emails sent to my email. My inbox is kind of like suddenly a lot. I thought it's a spam, but but not. Usually, people try to send email, oh, buy this thing, discount this thing. But I feel like a lot of maybe you imagine a letter. Usually, long time ago, when you send a letter, you need a box. So the officer, the post office officer, will put the letter in the box, and then when I open my email, I receive a lot of feeling like a lot of love, a love letter, love email. Yeah. And then I read it one by one. Actually, I really would like to offer my heartfelt gratitude and thank you for everybody who who send your homework, like a student now, huh? You send the homework, your journal, and indeed it's very nourishing for me. Yeah. And all the emails, all the journal, I read it slowly, one by one, from the end and from the beginning until the end, like I following my in breath and out breath from beginning until the end. And then I will send a reply to everybody. I hope you receive my reply already. And also thank you for those of you who did not submit. Also, I would like to offer my thank you. And I will accept all kind of reason, whatever you did not submit. And even those who I say, oh, you please only submit on Tuesday, but still a lot of people send on the Wednesday. They say, oh, brother, I'm so sorry. I send you on Wednesday. And then I feel like, oh, this is very nice and very polite. And then I reply, don't worry, I never close my email. My email doesn't has a door to close. Even the door is closed, but you still can bang in. Go in and then just send Yeah. So it's a very nice. I read a lot of nourishing story and a funny story, or also few quite a heavy story. But I really believe when you written all down, I believe you also feel a little bit light in you. But I hope it's not just because I ask you to do that. You want to be a good student, and then you write it. But it's just a chance for you because I saw quite a lot of people also. There are few friends who type, with maybe Microsoft Word, and the others they just using a pen and a book, and then they took a picture and sent to me. And it's also a challenge to read different different font. Your handwriting is a very special font. In Microsoft Word, usually you have like a Times Roman or Arial, Vedana or something. This is very special. Only you have this. Yeah. And it's so nice to look at a few people also draw something, a smiley, I don't know what is called it, a trees, a flowers, and I feel very nourishing by all of you. So once again, thank you very much. And don't worry, at the end of the class, I also give you another homework. Because in the WhatsApp group also there's a friend asking how to write the journal. Thank you, Will, for providing a very simple guidance. It's a freestyle sharing. Like maybe you think that you're in the Dharma sharing. If you have ever participated in the day of mindfulness or retreat, it's a kind of freestyle sharing. And then number of you also very diligent. For example, they say 8th of March, 9th of March. So they divide it into a few sharing. Also very nice. Yeah, very wonderful. And then in that way, I can assure that when you practice diligently, you will progress on the path. Yeah, and then the transformation, it will become very real, not just like we are only on the surface of a talking only. So the healing and the transformation become very real. Do you feel the healing already after you written down your journal? If not, don't worry, we have another one. Okay. And also thank you very much for all the friends outside of Singapore who also submit. Yeah, I also received numbers of emails from my fellows from Indonesia also. Yeah, very nice. And even though they know I can read Indonesian, but they still write in English. And then I replied, "Oh, your English is very good," I say. But sometimes they mix a certain words in Indonesia. Yeah. In Singapore, they call it a Singlish. Okay, let's see. Um, Tonight we want to discuss more about the third mindfulness training. This is quite hot, and a lot of people talking about. So I quote from the books, the third mindfulness training remind us that respect and understanding are the foundation of true love. Yeah. There's one time our teacher say we use the word love too much, and then we abuse this word, the love. Yeah. And then sometimes people are a little bit irritated when they hear the words of love. Yeah. Because if you are using the word with a very pure, mindful, kind way, the term, the love, become very kind, very warm. Yeah. But if somebody say love and then you perceive in the not very nice way, unwholesome way, then it's become unwholesome. So it's not the words, but it's how we respond to it. Yeah, the way we respond. And then it is very, very unique to see how our teachers say that respect and understanding. But nowadays, a lot of couples, a lot of loves, they manifest the love in a very different way. They want to praise the son or daughter, but using a very strong voice. There's also a love, but a little bit tough love. Yeah. But in Plum Village, we want to emphasize on loving speech and deep listening, it will be the fourth one. Huh? So we're discussing about the true love, but we also actually relate it to the deep listening and loving speech. Yeah. And then let's go together slowly, see how our teacher, how Plum Village teaching share our insight, our understanding related to true love. Maybe let's see. I would like to just briefly share with you four loves. Yeah. Maybe everybody have this experience of a parental love. Yeah. Because we all born from we are the continuation from our father and mother. So that's why you call a parental love. Yeah, it's caring without dominations. But nowadays, a lot of mothers or fathers dominate their children. You have to study this one. You have to do this one. You have to become a doctor. I think a lot of parents, when, for example, in Indonesia, I have few friends. They are being forced to become a doctor because the mother is a very quite famous doctor. So when the mother is a doctor, medical doctor, and then they also have a wish, the children also follow their footsteps to become a medical doctor. So a lot of their son or daughter, quite numbers of them, suffer so much because not sure what really happened, but when their mother said, you have to study medical doctor. So maybe one side of the son of the daughter in their heart, maybe they want to study something else. But I think this is more like an Asian, Asian culture. They listen to their parents a lot. Yeah. But in Western, I'm not very sure, but sometimes they have a lot of freedom. So what kind of subject or study they want to study or major in the university, I think they are quite free. But not don't know really why in Asia we listen to our father and mother so much. It is like in our blood. You tell them many times, but there are quite a number of them they still listen. Yeah. Protecting without imprisoning. Oh, this is quite strong. Yeah. But this is maybe more related to those who have a children, who's already been father or mother. But even me, I'm not a father because we are monk and we don't get married and we don't have children like blood children, blood son or daughter. But sometimes our younger brothers sometimes can become our, like we can look at them as our son or daughter. Yeah, a younger brother or younger sister, because the age is very far and they are very young. So there are many times when I talk to my younger brother, they are so young. And then when there's one time that is very random, I like talking about their parents, and then suddenly pop up in my mind, I say, oh, how old is your father? And then they say, oh, my father this years old. Wow, my goodness, I'm older than your father. So I can be your father actually. Yeah? And how old is your mother? Mother is this age. So you look at us as the monks and the nuns. Maybe we don't have a blood uh, son or daughter, but there are many times we can see that we have a son and a daughter. But it's more challenging because it's not our blood son and daughter. We cannot really imprison them. We cannot dominate them. They are our younger brother. And then the most difficult thing is when we advise them to do something, they refuse to do that. We cannot beat them. We cannot yell at them. Yeah. Because when I was young, when I was small, if I refuse to eat, usually my grandma will yell at me. Yeah. Using a very local Hokkien dialect. Yeah. Uh, and it's very harsh. So when I was very small, I, just, young kids, sometimes you don't want to follow what they ask you to do, and then they will just yell at you. Yeah. And then to a certain extent, they will beat your butt using in the Chinese, we have a call a rattan, rattan? They will not beat somewhere else, they only beat your butt. Because I think the butt have a chunk of meat that is quite like thick, so you beat there, even it's like a painful, but it's quite okay. This is how the previous generation teach, educate their children, but nowadays cannot. I heard many cases, children, they call the police saying, "Oh, my mother torture me," say. And then the police come and then they catch the parent. Well, this is quite don't know why. I don't know. I don't not very sure, because the way of how we educate our children nowadays quite different. Yeah, and then the is shifting. Long time ago, when the parent beat you, you will not go and call the police. Yeah. Or even sometimes happen in the school also. No? When I was young, I went to school. When after the exam, I got the exam, the marks is not very good, and then the teacher will just scold me. See, you don't study well, and then you got sometimes the teacher will ask us to go to clean the toilet or clean something, as a punishment. As a punishment, you go to clean the toilet. And then when I return home, I tell my grandma or my brother, they will scold you extra. Yeah. But nowadays, when the school, give the parent will go to school and give a problem to the school. Why you ask my son to clean the toilet? Like that. So a lot of things happening. I think, not sure in Singapore. I think Singapore, they are quite well organized, and I don't know. But in Indonesia, it happen a lot. Yeah, it's like the parents, they don't agree with a certain way how the school make a proper measurement to a certain extent of a punishment. Yeah. Okay. So this is parental love. This is a lot of drama, a lot of story behind the relationship between father and the son, the mother and the daughter. Yeah, you can tell a lot of story behind it. And then there's also a friend's love. Yeah. Yeah, in school we have a lot of friends. And then also the next one we call it a romantic love. Yeah. But in Buddhism, we want to emphasize this friend's love is really important. Yeah. And then from this friend's love, sometimes it can develop into a romantic love. That's the possibility. Yeah. And then also the last one is called universal love. Yeah, like the you want to expand the love. Yeah. But for the romantic love, usually we in the Buddhist, we only say like we loyal to one person. So this is related to what the third mindfulness training want to share, that we have one partner, no second partner, no third partner, no other partner that under the table or underground partner. Yeah. So that only one partner. Quite similar to Chinese traditions. But a long time ago, the king or the emperor, they have a lot of not partner. The first one called queen, right? Queen or something, and then the rest they call it a concubine. They have a lot. But this the emperor, this king. Don't follow them. Because it's a difference. Yeah. Okay, and okay, let's listen to one sound of the bell. Let's breathe, and you can reside and silently in you. May the sound of this bell penetrate deeply into the cosmos and even the darkest places. May living beings hear it clearly so their understanding may light up their hearts, and without hardship, they may transcend the realms of birth and death. So you can combine with the in breath and out breath. No need one line, one breath, no? But maybe one breath you can read two lines or three lines, and then out breath another two or three lines until it's finished with sound of the bell. Let's do it together. Thank you very much. I will send this slide to you in the groups later. And then if you like it, you can print it or you can design very nice and you can put it somewhere and it will help you to remind you to breathe. Yeah. So this is called listening to the bell. We have a few gatha or verses related to listening to the bell. Okay, now in my life, when I in Plant Village, France, I listened quite numbers of Dharma talk by our teachers. It's talking about the original desire. So maybe if the first moment you're born to this world, maybe we don't remember what kind of things happening in us. But a lot of people say the first thing when we born to this world is we cry. Yeah. But do you think before we have to cry, do you think there's something else you need to do? Breathe. Huh? I think maybe breathe. Huh? Do you think you breathe first or you cry first? Maybe it's like a question about which one, the egg or the chicken first. Then you will argue a lot. Huh? Maybe this is you can contemplate on that. I'm not a medical doctor, but you can check, or maybe you can check with the AI. Let's see what is the answer. Yeah. Not sure, but according to my personal belief, I think we have to breathe first. Yeah. And then the crying maybe is the celebration. Because when you're in the mother's womb, I don't think you need to breathe because your mother breathed for you. So good, huh? You don't need to breathe, but the mother breathed for you. You don't need to eat. Your mother eat for you. So good, huh? You don't need to you don't need to walk, you don't need to eat, you don't need to breathe. All done by your mother. So how kind of, oh, for example, you see one day your mother say, I'm angry today. I want to stop breathing. You will not get the supply of oxygen, right? Yeah. So there's a connection. Everybody have a very strong connection with the mother. Yeah, because there's our teacher like to explain this umbilical cord that connect us with the mother. And maybe according to the scientists or biologists, I think they only talk about how this umbilical cord that transport the oxygens, the nutriments, the water, the everything. But not very sure whether the scientists already can go deeper that this umbilical cord actually whether can connect the feeling, the mind between both of them, the child and mother. But I personally think it's not only transport the nutriments, but it's also connect the feeling, the mind. Yeah. So when the mother is happy, I think it will send the signal frequency of happiness to the son or the daughter, the child. I think it's so vice versa. But I also don't know what happened to the child, no? Whether the child can feel happiness or sadness, so they can send a signal to the mother. I'm not sure. But there are few stories that quite amazing, like there's friends who were pregnant, and then after some time, she have a new habit that there's a feeling that she want to eat durian every time. But actually, the durian is the most like she doesn't like durian at all. But after pregnant, suddenly I don't know from where this idea of durians come about. Probably from the child, no? But we are not sure. Yeah, but it is quite true, because and then after the labor, after she delivered the child, the wish to eat durian disappear also. Yeah, so maybe we can make a little conclusion that the child want durian. Said, "Mom, give me durian. Mom, give me durian." So it send a signal to the mother, and then it stick in the head of the mother, or the store consciousness, and then the mother will eat durian. Well, this is yeah, maybe if the scientists want to like make a research, probably we can have a better understanding about that. And then we talk about the original. It mean like when the first time you come into this earth, come into this world. Yeah, I think our teacher, I remember he told us about a lot of fear there, because you don't know how to breathe, because your mother breathed for you for maybe 9 months or 10 months, and then when you born to this earth, you have to find your own way how to breathe. And then you don't know what is the function of your five senses. You have to breathe from here or from here or from here. So maybe there's a fear there. We call it the original fear at that time, original need or original love. You need to be, you see, after the mother delivered you, and then you are very fragile, very weak, a lot of fear inside. You feel that you cannot survive, you cannot continue. Not sure whether we can remember, huh? Because I have been practicing mindfulness or meditation for so many years. If I try to imagine, try to look at it, I not yet really found out that really a lot of fear at that time. But I can just feel there's a lot of fear during that time. Yeah, I think the mother also have a lot of fears whether she can deliver successfully, or you know. But nowadays quite easy. Yeah, they have a method called Caesar. What do you call it? Caesarean. So they just, I don't know, and then bring it out. Because long time ago I heard that to give birth is so difficult. Yeah. And then you have to, you know, you have to bleed a lot. And then it's like I heard the story, huh? You need to push and then you got stuck there and then your breathing is not stable, you know. Yeah, it's quite yeah, maybe there's a lot of fear between the fear of a mother and the fear of a child connected to each other. So everybody, sure, we have that experience. Maybe you don't remember anymore. And then you need to be loved. Yeah. Our teacher told a very funny story. He said that you see Asian people when they want to kiss, they don't kiss with their mouth, but they kiss with their nose. So the kissing is like I don't know what you call it. You smell it. Yeah. And then suddenly I realized, oh yeah, I think Asian mostly they when they want to kiss, they kiss using their nose, not really using our mouth, you know, or I don't know. Maybe you can just reflect on it and see whether it's true or not. Yeah. So maybe I would like to invite everybody to reflect on this, the original desire, the need, the love. Yeah. Because you are so weak, you want your mother to always love you, but that's not always possible. Sometimes your mother have to walk away and come back again. So your sense is very sensitive. Okay. And then the third mindfulness training is a reminder that we can love people from the place of understanding and compassion. Yeah. Not just out of need. Because sometimes I love you, I need you, I need you. You see the perspective of I. Yeah. That's why sometimes the love from a child can become quite a strong attachment to the mother. I can feel the suffering of a child. Like there are many times I was in the a train or in the plane, you know. If the mother have to carry the child, the little child will cry a lot and make a lot of noise. I feel like I can feel like to be a mother, you really need a lot of compassion. Yeah, a lot, like limitless compassion and patience. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know why the child is keep crying and crying. You don't know what to do. You want to become a architect, you want to become a farmer, you want to become a computer, what is it? Computer programmers, You want to become a doctor, medical doctor. There's a university you can go to and then learn a lot of things and to become a medical doctor, become an architect. But to become a mother or to become a father, I don't think we have a bachelor degree of becoming a father or mother. So everybody just learn directly. It's feeling like you have to jump into the river, but you don't know how to swim. So you struggle there. You just try to push your hand, your leg. You just try your best to, what do you call it? to keep yourself on the water, Yeah. So how your father and mother how they educate you, they learn from their previous generations. Yeah. And then there's a gap generation. This generation I think is the most unique. Yeah. And then a lot of people telling me that to raise a children is so difficult. So now quite a lot of people, they don't want to have children. They call it childless. Yeah, not only fearless, not only but also childless. Yeah, this is quite interesting because like Japan, Korea, and China. China, I think they have a one child policy quite a long time. And recently, I also heard that China population in China also quite decreasing. How about Singapore? Singapore quite similar. Singapore, you have a one-child policy? No, huh? Two-child policy? Oh, oh. So the government just allowed you to have as many children as you want. Wow, that's interesting. Or the government will not afraid that it's overpopulated in Singapore. Yeah. Well, so this is related to just now when when I share about the original need, what you need. There's a few numbers of friends also share with me that they are having difficulty to find a partner. Well, this is quite interesting because as a monk and nun, we don't really go to find a partner. And I heard from somewhere, I don't know whether it's true or not, that when you're looking for a partner, actually you have an ideal, the criteria inside our head. Like for example, they say if you're a woman, when you try to find a partner, you try to find try to find the criteria like close to either your father or your mother. Because you are very close to your father and mother, so you want somebody to be your partner, also have the quality like your father or mother. But it's not always like that because there are quite a lot of people they have a not a good relationship with their parents. A lot, yeah. When during my time in France, there's a lot of young people they always fight with their mother, especially a girl, young woman. They always fight. Don't know why, huh? They fight with their mother and they disagree. And then at the end they run away. Yeah. And at the end they end up in Plum Village. But it's good, you know. At least they try to solve the, according to them, to solve the problem using a meditation or using a mindfulness, and then they see that Plum Village can be a place. Yeah, it's better rather than go to drink beer or consumptions, and it's better. Yeah. Yeah, so if you have any difficulties, the Sangha house also have a place, can be a refuge. We organize an event regularly, either offline or online. Yeah. And I really think that love is a process of discovery. Yeah, there's a lot of things need to discover. The third mindfulness training remind us that when we seek empty pleasure through sexual activity, we destroy happiness and we destroy love. Because just now we talked about the romantic love, right? The parental, the friendship, and then the romantic love. Yeah. And I can still vivid in my memory that a lot of people having these difficulties. I don't know in Asia, but in Western country we have a lot of these difficulties. Yeah. So they are quite open. So for example, if we have a wake up retreat, yeah, we sit in the Dharma sharing circle because we tell them this is confidential. Whatever you share will be kept in the circle. So probably they feel like there's a lot of burden. There's a certain part of them want to do A, and then they end up in a B, and then a lot of suffering. This they call it a empty sex. Our teacher calls it empty sex. Yeah, just to satisfy our need, because of course we realize that we have a different needs. Yeah. Sometimes I also want to reflect on, as a monks and nun, we don't engage in the sexual activities. Yeah. And at the very beginning, it's feel like quite difficult. Yeah. But when we can navigate, we know the way, and then we slowly know how to handle what we call it is the sexual energy. We have everybody we have that. Yeah. So this third mindfulness training want to remind us about this empty sex. Yeah. The third mindfulness training remind us to commit to learn ways to taking care of our sexual energy. Yeah. Because whatever we eat, whatever we listen to a song, whatever movie we watch is become an energy inside of us. And then this energy, if we cannot handle it well, it will automatically mostly channel to our sexual energy because it's a pretty strong energy in us. So if we know how to channel the energy, so we will not fit the sexual energy too much. Yeah. You see, now pornography, I think, is everywhere. It's one of the new problems. Yeah. Especially people can just stay in the room, not going out for days. Yeah. They not in touch with the other people, but they are using their gadgets, their mobile phone to in touch with other people. It's a lot of shift in how we interact with other people. Yeah. So our teacher give a very concrete suggestion like eating in moderations. Yeah, don't eat too much. Singapore is so wonderful. It's like a heaven of culinary. Culinary is like you go there, a little bit restaurant there, you go there, a cafe there, you go there again, there's a hawker there, biscuit, you go there, there's another ice cream. So everywhere. Mm. But I think it's not only in Singapore. The other country also, in Thailand also. You go to Bangkok, everywhere restaurant, everywhere they sell food. Yeah. And then the supermarket everywhere. Singapore also, you walk few meters, supermarket. Go there again, another supermarket. So every time me and brother Tui when we go out, we don't bring money at all. Leave the money inside the room, no need to bring. So no need to think about what to buy. But the first day we brought money and we went to the shop to buy a few things. After that, okay, just leave the money inside. It's not extreme, but we just want to free our mind, and actually we have more than enough to eat in the Sangha house. More than enough. Because they always think that our fridge is always full of food. And then every time friends come, then, oh, please bring this out. So I always open the fridge to see which one we need to finish it. If we have a lot of friends, you have to bring this one out. Oh, please eat this one. Please eat this one. No, just put it out. No, feeling like very generous. Yeah. And then, yeah, eating I think is quite challenging. A lot of people having a eating disorder right now, and then they have to try their best to go to Thailand or Koh Samui or somewhere to pay a very expensive price to do this detox. You pay very expensive to eat less. Usually we pay a very high price, to eat a lot, eat good food, But you go there somewhere, a detox program. Have you heard about it? Yeah. Diet program or something. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah. How we eat. So this is also related to the fifth mindfulness training. We'll talk about it later. Refraining from drinking alcohol. Yeah. I think not only alcohol, but the friends, yeah. Alcohol, they got numbers of things. But the friends bought me a little beer, but zero alcohol. Yeah. And then it remind me of Germany, because during my time in Germany, we also have this kind of I don't know what to call it beer, but zero alcohol. So you drink it, oh, it tastes like beer, but no alcohol. Yeah. So I drink it, quite tastes good. And then ensuring that we do physical activity each day are things that we can do to help ourselves to take care of our sexual, because the energy can flow out with our sweat. Yeah. Also, if we eat too much, you you like you pile up a lot of extra energy. They will go to the sexual energy. Yeah. And then alcohol will make your mind, your sanity go very low. Yeah. And then maybe there's one thing I want to add, that maybe you also have to, you see people have a detox of eating or something. Maybe we also need a detox of our mobile phone and social media. Yeah. See whether, you see my phone, I put something, so my phone will give a reminder that saying that, hello, brother, you have used your phone 25 minutes. Oh, 25 minutes. So I will just close it. Don't need to use it. Yeah. Or else I set because there's a app called a Zen moment something something. After some time, it will remind you to put down the phone and practice breathings. Yeah, so it's very nice. Even my watch also, I have this like after some time it will remind me like to take a focus or breathing exercise. So when I press that button, I can choose like I want to have 5 minutes of breathing. So when I choose a 5 minute, I press go, and then it will have a circle, like it will say breathing in with the circle, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. So I just look at my watch and follow my in breath and out breath. So it's quite good. I'm not promoting this watch, but it's quite useful, yeah, for me. Yeah. So social media, yeah, please. And okay, these three things I think is very important in the. Okay, in Chinese, sometimes they use a very good term. They call it 龙马精神. Long is the dragon, Ma is the horse. So the horse can run for a few days without stopping. Yeah. Or the dragon has this very strong energy. Yeah. So we have to protect and maintain these three energies. Yeah. The first one is called life energy of our body. Yeah. Our physical body is called what do you call it? Jin. Huh? Yeah. So we waste a lot of our body energy doing things that useless. I don't know what kind of useless thing you do. Huh? Try to identify it and then please write in the journal. That is wasting your energy, wasting your time. Yeah. Try to identify it. Yeah. The second one is the energy of our heart or our mind. It's called Sen. That you use your time, your energy of your heart and mind to think something that very useless. And then you repeat it again and again. Yeah. You worry about what will happen next. Yeah. So it drain your energy. So when your heart and the mind and your sun, this energy going down, is difficult for you to function well as a human beings. Yeah. Because that's why nowadays a lot of people keep talking about the overthinking. Yeah, this one. Your your mind is very productive and it's keep working. And then you can think a lot of things. So you drain your energy. And so this energy, if we can help it to stop and not to happen too many times, it will be very good. It can conserve the energy. That's why I spend most of my time, if I think of something I worry about, then I will come back to my breathing. So I can conserve a lot of energy of my heart and mind. No need to think of something again and again. uselessly. How to say it? Yeah. Okay, I reflect on it. And then the third one is called a breath energy. It's called qi. Yeah? You know how you waste this energy? By talking, gossiping. Yeah. Talking, gossiping, and all kind of this kind of thing is your breath. Because when you see I talk for like 45 minutes already. I cannot say I waste my breath energy, but at least there's friends in the Zoom and the audience listen to me. Yeah. But you see, after I speak for 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, I feel like very tired. I just want to practice noble silence. Okay, so dear friends, practice noble silence regularly, so you don't have to waste. You see why people when they go to a vipassana retreat or something, they say, "Oh, don't talk." I say, there's a time of a noble. This is the practice in plant village. Also, we have this called a noble silence. Yeah. But during noble silence is very challenging because you want to talk all the time. You want to waste your breath energy. Yeah. Wasting. I remember one time there's a story in the Buddha's time. So the Buddha was practice sitting meditation. See, Buddha also practiced sitting meditation in the hut, in his hut. So outside, the quite few monks keep talking, no, talking. So the Buddha just leave them talking. No, it's okay. After some times, Buddha went out and asked them, "Dear venerable monks, may I know what kind of subject or topic are you talking about?" Maybe they are having a Dharma sharing, huh? But Buddha said it's too loud. Yeah. So they say, "Oh, we are talking about this king, this queen, this general, this country, this thing." Buddha said it's totally useless. So sometimes Buddha also is not scolding them, but giving them advice in a quite strong way. Huh? They say rather than you're talking about not things that nonsense and useless, you better go and practice mindfulness or meditations. Yeah. So it's quite strong from the Buddha. Yeah? So maybe you think, oh, Buddha is very compassionate, but the time to time he also have to say things quite strong. He's, I think the Buddha want to say, you don't need to say too many things. Yeah. If you want to say something, make sure it's useful, it's a wholesome. Don't just open your mouth and saying bad things about other people or gossiping. Yeah. So if you know that you want to say something not good about others, I think it's better for you to take an in breath and out breath 3 times, and then check again whether you want to say. Like there's a Chinese philosopher say, if you want to say something, make sure that it's a fact. It's not a gossip. Yeah, a fact. Fact is mean like is something that true. The second one is make sure that it is nice or good things. And then the third one is useful. Yeah. If not useful, not a good thing, and this is not a fact, then why I have to listen to the rubbish, to the uh, rubbish talk, you know? So now there's quite a lot of things like that. Yeah. So take good care of these three things. Yeah. It's also have in the mindfulness training. It's mentioned. Yeah. You see, yeah. It's not because this is a horse, fire horse ears. Huh? So I put this horse there. But the horse look like a little bit like a dragon. Huh? Have, need time to look for a picture. So let's listen to another one sound of the bell, and then this is another gatha. But this poem is called Letting Go. So you can take an in breath and out breath while read slowly this gatha. Yeah, while listening to one sound of the bell. Wow, it's very quick. I already speak for 1 hour already. It's cool. Okay, so this is the very important part that I really want to share with you about the way out is in. Yeah. So we are always thinking about outside there, over there, you. But maybe now it's me and come back to me. Yeah. Stop running away from sufferings. Yeah. Nowadays we have a lot of way to run away from our suffering or to cover up our suffering. Yeah. A lot. You can name it. You can make a very long list. Yeah. Watch a movie, eat ice cream, shopping. Nowadays, shopping is very easy. You just press, and then things come to you. Even you want to shop groceries, also you don't need to go to the shopping center anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of apps. Yeah, so we don't run away from suffering. If you run away from suffering, you miss the chance to transform our suffering. That's why in the practice of mindfulness, we turn inward, go inside. Yeah, with mindfulness, with breathing in and breathing out. Yeah, so the key is breathing in and breathing out to understand deeply, yeah, our sufferings. Because I think we always think that the easy way is just to run away. Yeah. And then transformation and freedom naturally arise. Yeah. So we can try to do that, not blaming others. Yeah. The path to peace, freedom, and transformation is not found by escaping our life or problems, but by turning inwards and understanding our mind and suffering. That is why in the five mindfulness training is also mentioned that to aware of our suffering, to accept our suffering, to embrace our suffering, and then to use breathing to embrace our sufferings also. That's why there's a four noble truth. And the four elements of true love is mentioned very clearly in the third mindfulness training. Yeah, the first one is the love, yeah, or the Maitri. At its base is a deep friendship, you see. The love is starting from friendship. And then after you're getting old, what left behind is the friendship between the husband and the wife. So cultivating friendship is very important. You start with a friendship and then you also end with friendship. Yeah. A friendship need to bring about happiness. Yeah. Self-love is the foundation for loving another person's. Like you want to take good care of your health, then you eat healthily. Yeah. This is called we love our body. Yeah, we don't need to think a lot of things that is useless. It's also this is love our mind, love our feelings. So Maitri is a Sanskrit term. It's also very close to another term called Mitra. So Maitri and Mitra. Mitra means friends. Yeah, Maitri and Mitra. So let's try use this one. So the this is the Maitri, the love, Maitri, and then this is a Mitra, friend. So I have been contemplating what is the relationship between love and friendships. Yeah. Maybe you also would like to take a look into it. And what is the connection between love? And then the second one is called karuna. And in Chinese, in general terms, sometimes they use 慈悲. So they put the word, two words together. The 慈 is the love, and then the 悲, yeah, 慈悲. So the love and compassion. But I think in Chinese, generally, they just call it a 慈悲. These two is a compassion. But if you separate them, it's become love and compassion. So in order to have love, you need a compassion. In order to have love, you need a compassion. In order to have a compassion, you also need love. But not sure. Maybe the Chinese have a different way of looking at it. But just looking at the term, we can see something else there. Yeah. So the second one is the compassion, is the capacity to relieve suffering. Yeah. But our teachers say the term compassion probably not not able to catch the meaning of this karuna. Yeah. Because kom is a together, passion is a suffer. You suffer together. No, we don't want to. And then few people try to use the another words called empathy to feel, but the feel only is not enough because the compassion also there's an action behind it. Try to relieve the suffering. Try to offer. So the first one, the love, is to offer happiness. The second one to relieve the suffering. Yeah. And then the third one is the joy. Yeah, mindful awareness means you have access to feeling of joy and happiness at any moment. Just letting go can bring joy and happiness. Letting go a lot of things. Letting go our anger, letting go our frustrations. Yeah. So you can practice like breathing in. I know there's stress in me. Breathing out, I letting go my stress. So just by using a breathing in and out, and then to put the terms there, it will help. Yeah. And then the third one is called inclusiveness, or sometimes our teachers say it's a non-discrimination. Frankly speaking, until now, I still contemplate and why our teacher translate this upeksha, the into inclusiveness or non-discriminations. Yeah. So the fourth one is the upeksha, but generally most of the people will translate into equanimity. Yeah. Equanimity also is okay. The I is our teacher, huh? But I prefer to think of it as inclusiveness. Because to love one person is an opportunity for you to love everyone and all species. Quite difficult. Maybe this one we call it is the universal love, like the love without boundaries. Because when we call it a love, I love you because you're kind to me. I love you because you treat me well. Yeah. I don't love you because you so annoying. But to love somebody very annoying is quite difficult. Huh? But if you cannot love that person, you can say, I don't need to love that person, but at least I don't hate that person. It's good enough. Or you use a I of neutral. Breathing in, this person very annoying. Breathing out, I look at this person using a neutral eyes. It's better than I hate this person. Don't do that. Yeah. It's mean non-discrimination, Either you're good to me or you're not good to me. If I cannot love you, at least I don't hate you. Can we do that? It's very like a baseline. Because when you generate a hatred, it's not good for you. So it is like you drink poison, but you wish other people to die. Yeah, you drink a poison, then you have a wish other people to die. It means like you hate that person, but actually you got poison yourself. The hatred itself is a poison actually. So with true love, we feel complete in ourselves. We don't need something from outside to make us feel whole. Yeah, because we always say, I'm half, I'm looking for my another half. Yeah, I think it's partially correct. But actually you are beautiful as yourself. Let me read this one. Huh? Be beautiful, be yourself. Over there. Yeah. If you found a partner, it means both of you supporting each other. Yeah. Not saying that you are my other half. Yeah. Sometimes people say like this. Huh? So by putting together, you feel complete. I think you already complete. You don't need other people to make you more complete. Yeah. As a whole. We practice love on yourself first. Yeah. And when we succeed, loving another person becomes something very natural. So, like for us, we practice loving ourselves. Yeah, we eat healthily, we go to exercise, we practice mindful breathing, we practice stopping regularly. Yeah. So I can love my younger brother better because we have a lot. I don't have a blood younger brother. I only have one blood younger sister. So now I cannot, difficult for me to imagine I have like a few hundred of younger brother, few hundreds, younger spiritual brother, and few hundreds younger sisters. And then in the monastery, they always call me Suja, Suja. Suja means like a, Shi is like a teacher, Ja is a father. So if a younger sister call me Suja, like a father teacher, or maybe Chinese, they call it the Sifu. Sifu, Sifu. Feel like I was so old. But it is a good practice because our teachers say there's a time that we have to act like a father. So at the very beginning, when I became a Dharma teacher, it's quite a burden. Like people started to call me like a father teacher, like Sifu, Sifu, like this. But slowly, okay, there's no choice. I have to play that role. Yeah. So I have to love them. Love in a way that I support their practice. Love in a way that it give me a totally a different perspective. Because long time ago, a very long time ago, before I ordained, I also have a girlfriend, but we broke up. And I can feel like there's quite different between that love and this love now. And then I can feel my love is really expanding. Not that a little box love and square, but this love become very big now. Because there are times I can see them as my younger sisters. There are times I can see them as a younger, my daughter or my son. Like just now, I told you the story about I was talking to my younger brother, and suddenly I asked, "How old is your father?" Wow, I'm older than your father. It means I'm qualified to be father. Yeah. So it make me realize. And then in the center also, when we sit down for sitting meditation, we long time ago, like maybe 15 years ago, when I sit in the meditation hall, because we sit according to our Dharma age and when you ordain. Yeah. So a lot of elder brothers sit in front of me. But nowadays it's getting less and less. So my sitting distance to the altar is getting closer. They say even if more closer, you will go up to the ancestor table soon. Ancestor table. So sometimes a little bit scary. Oh, I'm closer to the ancestor table. Because when you die, you will go up to the ancestor table. People will offer incense, offer fruits to you. Wow. Sounds a little bit scary, but it's a reality now. Yeah. So feeling like I have no choice. I have to play the roles, and then I have to pay back to the community. Yeah. Yeah, I eat the rice of a community. I drink the water of a community. Yeah. I eat the bread of a community. Now I have to pay back. Yeah. Okay. This is, I would like to just read to you because it's like a self-explanatory, and based on the sharing just now, I already explained everything. But let's go to read it. It is very same. We divide it into four parts. It's the four noble truths. The first noble truth is the aware of the suffering, the ill being. And then the second one caused by sexual misconduct. See, this one is telling us about sexual misconduct, that you only have one partner. What kind of partner is depend on you. Yeah, that's why we don't have any issue with LGBT or the rainbow community. Yeah. But the important part, you have one partner. You don't have three or four partners. Because the way of a Buddhist way of, because it's based on the Buddhist way of thinking, it's like that. I think in Chinese also quite similar. Mm. And the third one, I'm committed to cultivating responsibility. Yeah, responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. It's quite big, huh? Knowing that sexual desire is not love, and that sexual activity motivated by craving always harms myself as well as others. Okay. Yeah. So this is telling us that there's possibility of transformations. Yeah. And then the fourth is the ignoble path. Yeah. The fourth of the four noble truths is the path. Yeah. The path to well-being. Number three is the possibility of well-being. The second one is the cause, the making of ill-being. So the first one is the ill-being. So number fourth, I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without true love. Yeah, that true love, huh? The four true love, the Maitri, Karuna, yeah, the loving kindness, the compassion, the inclusiveness, the joy and inclusiveness, and the deep long-term commitment made known to my family and friends. So this is the translation, the old versions. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse. Yeah, this is very nice. Yeah. To prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Seeing that body and mind are one, I'm committed to learning appropriate ways to take care of my sexual energy. So take care of my sexual energy and cultivating loving kindness. Yeah, this is the four elements of true love: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness, which are the four basic elements of true love, for my greater happiness and greater happiness of others. Practicing true love, we know that we will continue beautifully into the future. I'm not very satisfied with this translation, frankly speaking. So I retranslate it once again. See my translation. But I base my translation from the Vietnamese versions. Yeah. If you know Vietnamese, later I can send you versions, maybe in the group, and then you because nowadays we have a lot of. But I did not use ChatGPT or Google Translate. I really translated based on my understanding. Yeah. So I called it a translated from Vietnamese by Brother Phap. I have to say like this, or else the community will yell at me. The first one I agree is aware of the suffering. Yeah. The second one also I agree caused by sexual misconduct. The third one is I have a little bit different view on that. But I have to disclose to you. I have a disclaimer that this is translated by me. I'm committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individual, couples, family, and society. From that part, I still agree. But the next one, I disagree with the that translation. I did my own. I know that sexual desire and love are two different things. This is what the Vietnamese sentence like this. Yeah. Later you can compare by yourself. You can read and then try to compare. I know that sexual desire and love are two different things. The sexual activity motivated by craving always harm myself as well as others. Okay, this is still the same. And number four, I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without true love and long-term commitment. Okay, I agree with this one. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. I think I missed something. Oh, that one I deleted because there's nothing mentioned in the Vietnamese versions. Where is it? Yeah, that one. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without true love and long-term commitment. Dot. Yeah. Because they put something extra, flowers and extra ingredients. I think is not necessary. Yeah. So I delete it. So I'm committed to learning appropriate ways to take care of my sexual energy. I also quite agree. So I can understand. This one a little bit different. So I can understand that actually the body and mind are one. Because we look at our body and mind, we think that these are two separate entities, right? So to nourish the loving kindness, to nourish, loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness, which are the four basic elements of true love for my greater happiness and the greater happiness of others. And I know practicing the four immeasurable, this is also I changed. I know that practicing the four immeasurable minds, the four, I will continue beautifully and happily in every future life. Quite different. Yeah. But I really translate from the Vietnamese. Okay, I cannot really say is correct or not, but it is based on my understanding. So I really want to do it my way. Yeah. So this is the week 2 homework assignment. So I will send you this and then you can access. But the second homework will be quite a little bit easier. Yeah. Also journaling. Okay. And thank you very much. Let's listen to one sound of the bell, and then we can have one or two questions. Questions. Oh yeah, please. Do we have an extra mic? Please take this one. I use this one.
Hello. Thank you very much for your talk today. I really enjoyed it. I have a question about the heavy emphasis on having one romantic partner. Because you mentioned something about how it's a traditional Chinese practice. But from what I know of traditional Chinese practice, it's actually polygamy. So however many wives that you can support. It's only this idea of one partner is an Enlightenment idea from Europe. So why is this so heavily emphasized as a core human practice in Plum Village? Is it because of the current society we live in? Or is it really a core human thing that we should be following?
Wow, this is a very powerful question. I think there's a lot of view there, and from my understanding that in Buddhism, there are many scriptures mention that one partner, respect one partner and one partner. And then I also heard that our teacher also share that the romantic partner that you trust, that you want to live together with that person. And then there's a certain part of your body is very precious, is very sacred. So you only share your sacredness of that body to the person that you trust. You will not share with anybody or with the second body or the third body. Yeah. So it's a kind of commitment. So if something precious, I don't think you want to share with a lot of people, especially sacredness of, especially we talk about our body. Like for example, as a monks and nun, we consider our head is very sacred and very precious. Yeah. So if we can put down, for example, if we practice touching the earth, we put down our head down on the floor, it mean we put our highest respect, yeah, to the person that we respect the most. Yeah. So so from my understanding, the Buddhists we support the ideas of monogamy, I think, not a polygamy, yeah, monogamy. That's why it say, actually when it mentioned the sexual misconduct is related to the polygamy. Yeah, of course there are quite a lot of belief there. Maybe for different religions or other, they can have two or three or four wives. Yeah, it's okay because this is what they believe and the view they have, that kind of view. Yeah, but I cannot see that Buddhists can support that view. Yeah, the polygamy. Yeah. But if you still choose to polygamy, I cannot really say, I cannot really forbid you, no? Who am I to forbid you? See? Yeah. So sometimes the Buddhist is, even though very clear, but we don't have this like very strong way to say yes or no, huh? Because there's like a, we want you have to understanding and then you voluntarily do it rather than I force you to do that. Or you just, oh, based on the scripture do like this, then you follow the scripture like that without understanding, and then we also don't support. So we want you to have that understanding about a relationship, sharing our mind, sharing our feeling, sharing our body, the sacredness of our body with somebody else. So this is from my understanding. Yeah, I hope this answer your question. But there are numbers of Chinese. I think they also quite value. Yeah, you have a, for example, you have a wife, for example, huh? And then you will not secretly have a second wife, secretly, secret wife or secret partner. Yeah, this is we don't support. Yeah, it's very clear in that sense. Okay, thank you very much. We have other questions, maybe from the Zoom.
Mm. Is it okay if I ask a question? I think there's also one in the chat group. or maybe just sharing my my perspective on this. Actually, I personally would like to respectfully disagree, because from my personal experience, because I'm part of the LGBT community, and actually I do see many people also they practice polyamory. Is a kind of broader term than polygamy, but there are people that, there is possible to love, many different people. It no, not say many. I mean, it can be two, can be more. And so I think the thing that I've learned, I think there's a lot of discussion within our community about, about things that are really necessary of, having mutual consent. Everything will be consensual, being respectful, and the element of love. And I feel that I genuinely believe that, if as long as, everybody is consensual and everybody is agreeable and there is love there is really nothing wrong. Is really up to the individual, because I see people who have multiple partner and they are all very happy, and sometimes the partner, they are also like, maybe the two people are partner of this one person, and these two partner also like good friends also, or maybe even three or four of them can be also all in a kind of relationship together. It's quite a broader kind of, is a broader, that definition and perspective of, the traditional, romantic sexual monogamous. So I think, to me, I ultimately interpret it in my own way, and to me is, as long as there's a respect, there's a consent, and there's love, then nothing wrong. Yeah, just sharing how I feel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pacer, for your sharing. We also respect your view, but as a community, especially from Plum Village, and we have our standpoint very clearly that we only support the monogamy. But if you don't agree with that, it's okay. So you can continue to you hold your view is all right, because is we don't want to force you to adopt our view, because if you want to adopt our view is also from the understanding. Yeah. If you think that you want to do what they call polyandry or polygamy, I think it's more like your private things. But if you ask me, I will speak on behalf of the community, the way of we function, the way of a community's collective insight. I still say that we support the monogamy. Yeah. But of course, this is not about saying who right or wrong, because it's something that arguable. Yeah. But if we ask us, yeah, we will say like that. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And maybe I can read one questions from the chat. In China, sometimes gay and lesbian people will enter into lavender marriage too, because
Yeah, the mushroom and the tree that is inside, yeah. The more I put the mushrooms on it,
okay, thank you. Because here, gay marriage is not legal. Okay, but there are some legal ways that marriage can benefit people or for the sake of pacifying blood family. Okay, this is not a question. It's look like one before. Helen. Oh, thank you so much for your. This from Helen. Thank you so much for your wonderful sharing, brother Phap. I want to stop overthinking to preserve my energy, but it seems that my mind has the mind of its own. What are your suggestions? Yeah. So our mind is has the functions to think, and then it's difficult to stop it. What we can do actually to to things in breath and out breath. So you channel your mind, you deliberately channel your mind to the in breath and out breath. So your mind become two. Yeah. One is the in breath and two is the out breath. So can reduce our thinkings a lot. Yeah. But of course we need a time to practice again and again so we can have a power. That's why practicing mindfulness, we can gain a power called a power of mindfulness. So we call it a mindfulness is the energy, yeah? Energy of mindfulness. So using the energy of mindfulness, we help our mind to think only two, breathing in and breathing out. So is help your mind. Oh, thank thank you for the balloon. Really, let's raise my hand again. Nothing. I see. Nothing there. Okay, leave it here. So actually, we practice mindfulness in the plant village tradition. We want to build a power called a power of mindfulness, the power to return to your breathing. So your mind become very less because our mind keep thinking a lot and a lot and a lot. So we need to help it with a very simple idea like listen to the chimes clock. Actually, your mind's only two, in and out. Your mind thinking about the breathing is better than you think a lot of things. But there are times you need to think, then please think, Yeah. If you go to work and your director or your manager asks you, think, please think. I want you to solve the problem things. And you say, hey, cannot, because I went to a Joyful Garden Sangha, the brother asked me to stop thinking, thinking my in breath and out breath. You got fired. So it's called appropriateness. When the time you don't need to think, you don't think. But our problem is the time you don't need to think, you still continue to think. So that's why we call it overthinking. Yeah. So we need to build a power of return to breathings. Yeah. So I hope it's okay with everybody, and thank you very much, everybody, and see you next week, huh? And then we will practice touching the earth. Right now, do you have the text? So maybe we can have a small sound of the bell, the little bell, and then we can open our leg to massage a little bit. So you can find a place or I don't know, somewhere in any directions. Over here we have these directions. And then you will stand behind the cushions and with the joint palm. And then we will listen to 3 sounds of the bell. And then Brother will read the contemplation. We just listen. Let the contemplation in the reading come into our mind. And then after a point, when the brother read touching the earth, the brother will give half sound. And then the brother will continue to read until the end. And then when the brother invite the full sound, we touch the earth. Yeah, breathing in, breathing out, in and out, in and out, until you hear the half sound, and then we can stand up. And then another sound, we touch the earth again, second time. So you feel you are like absorbing the words, the sentence, and then feeling like we are having a conversation with the Buddha, with the Mother Earth, with the whole universe, with the cosmos. Yeah. And then we bow down, I open up. Yeah. So when we touch the earth, we open our hand. Like this is I am. I don't have anything to hide. I open up myself. Yeah. And then you resting on the earth, on the Mother Earth. You have anything, you can pour into the Mother Earth. the Mother Earth is always very kind, can transform everything. Yeah. And then the third time, okay? So everybody, you can stand up and we face the front, or friends in the Zoom, you can also find a place that's suitable for you.
Yeah, so dear Sangha, just prepare for touching the earth. Just move the cushion to the side of the mat so you can have space for those in Sangha home. And just make sure there's enough space in front and behind. Okay, good. So the way we touch the earth is, if we like, we can put when the bell is invited, we can put our palms to our head to represent bringing our mind, and then to our hearts. So our mind and our hearts are together, and then with our whole body, we touch the earth. In the text we mention Lord Buddha, but if you're not comfortable with touching the earth to Lord Buddha, like Thay shared, you can touch the earth to Mother Earth, you can touch the earth to Jesus, to whoever you can open yourself to, your stream of ancestors. Yeah, you can just imagine that and you can touch the earth. And when we are on the ground, we can come back to our breathing and just let go to the earth. Thank you very much. So we'll begin with 3 sounds of the bell. Please come back to our breathing. Feel our feet firmly on the earth. Dear Buddha, in the past, I did not know how to manage the sexual energy in myself. This has caused me to make regrettable mistakes. I know that the human species is an animal species and that sexual energy is naturally present in all of us. In the past, because I did not know the spiritual practice, I allowed the seeds of sexuality in me to be watered too much. Sometimes, sexual energy arising in me has made me unstable. I may have read magazines or books or looked at films full of images that excite sexual energy. I know that some people make themselves rich by selling sex, not only in the form of selling bodies, but in the form of selling sounds and images. Images that call up sexual desire are everywhere, in books, magazines, television, movies, advertisements, DVDs, and online. Young people, particularly, are the victims of this kind of marketing. The seeds of sexual energy in them are watered many times every day. The number of young men and women, often from age 13 or younger even, who are pulled into the net of unhealthy sexual activity is alarming. It is a true catastrophe when young people know sex but do not know how to love. When young people who have practiced empty sex grow up,
they never have a chance to know the joy of true love. The habit of masturbation leads to similar results. It dries up the source of wholesome energy of body and mind and does not give a person the chance to know what true love is. Dear Buddha, you have taught us the truth that body and mind are one reality. And I know that whatever happens to my body also happens to my mind. I vow to look after my body and mind and not allow the seeds of sexual desire to be watered in myself and not to fall into the habit of masturbation. I vow that from now on I shall not read books or magazines or look at films that excite sexual energy. I shall not listen or tell stories with sexual overtones. I shall not use the telephone or computer to find sounds and images that arouse sexual desire. I also vow to lend my energy to action that makes people aware of the harm done by the artificial arousal of sexual energy. I vow to do everything I can to create a healthy environment at all levels of society, especially for the younger generation. Dear Buddha, I ask you to guide me with the light of understanding and compassion in this world. Touching the earth. With body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness, I touch the earth before the elders Upali, Purna, and Maha Gautami.